I just pointed the camera at the screen, and that was that. Kind of put my head in once in a while, but this time I'm trying to kind of do picture-in-picture and make the video a bit better quality and all that sort of stuff, so that it's not blurry. Anything about that. Yeah, unless your name is Andy or Steve, it does seem that California Games is not going to be your cup of tea. And speaking of cup of tea, I have me cup of tea here, so I'll be having a sup through this. But I haven't even completed the intro. Essentially, this stream is going to be two parts. It's going to start off and I'm going to do a gameplay of the Master System Challenge Week 2, and that's California Games Footbag trying to get a high score. I am terrible at this, as I found out in my practice. But from once I kind of completely fail at that, I'll move on and I'll do some Alex Kidd, and I might actually do a full gameplay of that. It depends. I'm using an emulator, and I'm using this 8-bit controller, so it's not as kind of got that muscle memory that I have with my Mega Drive controller. But we'll do our best, and we'll see how we get on. Anyway, hey Tony, hey Ollie, I see we got a couple of people there. Yes, this is, for anyone who wants to know, this here, my cauldron of tea, is actually it's a BB-8 from Star Wars. It has a little top thing, but it could be a long stream, so that's why I said, you know, I need a cup. Well, I guess really it should be a mug of tea, but I prefer your phrasing, so let's call it a cauldron of tea. And I brought these in, and I didn't actually I didn't go through them, but yeah. This is what we're playing right now, California Games, and the reason why I took the box down is because, believe it or not, I actually read the manual. I was like, this footbag thing, I've played it before on a Commodore 64 direct-to-TV game, and that's it, and only for a few minutes, but I remember being pretty crap at it, and we're going to find out. Let's get in. I've been waffling a lot. So basically, the controls are pretty simple. And first time around, I'll just go through the controls. You move left or right, that's all. You press down, you can spin around, and then you've got one other button to flick the ball. And it's context sensitive. So you'll head it, you'll knee it, you'll flip it, depending on the whereabouts you are to the ball as you press. And this seems like it should be so easy. You know, why didn't I head it the second time? That just doesn't make sense. Oh, there we go. Nice little. See, to get a high score on this, and as I said, I learned this from reading the manual. You have to do a variety of tricks and actually pull them off, which is something I am distinctly not doing. So I did a half axel, another half axel. How nice! And at the end of each gameplay, they tell you what the type of tricks are. They're get like a full horseshoe or something like that. Oh, there we go. We got a couple of horseshoes in, not too bad. Now, yes, okay, whoever decided that this was a good challenge needs shooting. They certainly do. To be fair, it actually is a good challenge. It's a good high score game because it's deceptively challenging given the simplicity of controls. Now, as I mentioned, variety is the key. So you got these different stunts: 5 in a row, half axel, horseshoe, full axel, double arc, reverse Dota, whatever a Dota is, Jester, Dizzy Dean, Headbanger. Now they are all in the manual, so they do tell me how to do them, but to be honest, I couldn't even do the basics ones, so looking at the complex ones, that wasn't going to happen. The more individual trick types you do, the more variety bonus you get, and on the Twitter feed right now for this challenge, I'm seeing scores of 70,000. Yeah, I can't get 7,000. In my practice, I got one run that got 16,000, and that was an aberration. Everything else was about 5,000. So I'm not expecting this to go very well. It kind of feels like, okay, so what you want to do is just do a variety of tricks. Oh, there's a Jester. That's not too bad. There we go. Oh, nice. A backwards Jester. Although that didn't count for anything extra. Oh, and that seagull, by the way, I seen it on Twitter, is actually called George. And you can hit him, and I think you do get 1,000 points for hitting him, which actually just seems mean. Why would you hit the seagull? half axle. Nice. Oh, too early. So it's actually like this looks so simple, and I'm thinking, why isn't he heading the ball there? And sometimes I wonder if this is a case of the simplicity that actually goes against it. If you had separate buttons for like heading, you would have more control. Ooh. Oh, nice. 5 in a row. And then I promptly drop it. Now, I'm seeing that there is some drop frames, so if there's kind of problems, I'd appreciate, because the seagulls can steal your food. They can steal your food, and apparently in Dublin they really do steal your food. And actually, it's probably a case that with everyone on lockdown, they're become even more tenacious and more hungry. So maybe the seagulls are going to take over the world. 14,000. That's actually, I mean, that's a terrible score compared to everyone else on the leaderboard, but by my standards, that's a pretty good score. And we did actually get 3 different types. It's some of the names: Dizzy Dean, Headbanger, and also they call this footbag. But I think everyone in Ireland and the UK would probably just call it keepy uppy. Let me see. I'll give it a few more goes anyway. See if I can learn the timing, because that's actually what this is really about. Don't jump on the spot. He was very excited. So we get the half axle out pretty quick. And then I suppose what you want to do, like, there is one for full axle, which is do that, but then he doesn't bloody... Come on. Oh, nice, a full axle. And every time I say that, I assume or I just think of axle rolls. Come on. That's a good point. It is hacky sack in the US. So, where did they get the name? Maybe hacky sack is actually the brand of that little kind of bean thing. Oh, there's a jester. Yeah, the bean bag that they often use, because this isn't... Oh, come on, take it. Oh, hacky sack on the Nintendo. Huh. That's interesting. I wonder why they then called it footbag on the Master System. And why did the music stop? Did the music always stop at the end of this and I'm just noticing it now? $13,000. So, to be fair, I'm getting a little more consistent. I got a horseshoe, jester, half axle, full axle. I'm viewing this as a win. I was actually, because when I practiced earlier on, I could barely get to 5,000. So just as well I did a little bit of practice. And that's also why I kind of figured, yeah, let's do this with Alex Kidd, where I can actually I can do reasonably well on that. Ah, I was right. It's a brand name. But that makes it even more interesting that they have it on the Nintendo version. I wonder, was it originally, because it probably came out on the NES first, did they originally have it and then get into potential kind of branding issues, so decided to pull it from later releases? Although this was a Commodore game, not a Nintendo game first. Like, it's so funny as well, there's actually a bit of... Ooh, that was nice. A double arch. I got the horseshoe down. Now, if I keep doing horseshoes, do I get 5 in a side? Or 5 in a row? Apparently not, because I didn't manage to do it. That wasn't too bad. It really is about getting a feel for the timing. Come on, get it up, get it up. There we go. I think that was probably my best go so far. No, it wasn't. Oh, because I didn't get the full variety bonus because I did 6 horseshoes. But the 6 horseshoes then didn't count as a 5 in a row. That's unfortunate because it really should have been. Yeah, so apparently I need to do those jesters or jokers or whatever they're called to get a bit more variety in. Here we go, get that going. Nope. Yeah, I seen Andy scored something like 70,000, or someone had scored 70,000 just before I started the stream, and I was like, yeah. To be fair, when I read the manual, I was looking at going, well, some of these tricks are worth like 2,000 a pop, and if you do, like, you got 75 seconds, so you see Jester's worth 2,000. So if you do the kind of full set of kind of tricky tricks, like the Headbanger, the Dozy Dave, and whatever else they're called, you could easily get a decent score before the variety bonus kicks in. And if you get a full variety bonus, now I'm making it sound like Bruce Forsyth or something, like you get a full variety bonus. Whoa, no. You can certainly do well. I'm actually kind of curious now what a big score, what a high score is in this. Because we're all kind of going, well, 70,000, that's probably amazing. And there's probably someone who's got like 250,000 or something. Ah, come on, why would you kick with that foot? Like, the context-sensitive part is kind of annoying at times, where you don't necessarily feel he uses the most appropriate kick going. Come on, get up there. Whee! The thing is, you say someone's been practicing. I think we've all been practicing. You're just not getting 70,000. So yeah, if you get 3, you get 6,000 bonus. Really, you do need to do a whole bunch of tricks. Drink out of me cauldron. So let's see, where are we going? We'll give it a little more, and then we'll switch over to Alex, because clearly I peaked out when I got that 16,000 or whatever it was. It's actually quite annoying when you feel like you've pressed it and he just doesn't respond. And if you make one timing press, chances of recovery are pretty low. I wonder why it's called a jester. Doesn't seem to make much sense, but what does with this game, really? No, so the bonus. So if you perform a trick once, like I did with the jester, the ball's gone. Oh, it's back now. It's going to be hard to score now with the ball gone. That's it. Your variety bonus only counts once. So the idea is there's 10 different types of trick. I think you want to really perform one of each, not repeat the same trick. And if you do them all one at a time. Now, to be fair, easier said than done. I can barely do any of the tricks, let alone 10 of them. Like, one of the tricks is 5 in a row, and that I can't do most of the time. So you see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's actually 11 different types of stunts. So you probably get 2,000 for every stunt type you do. Actually, no, I think it could be exponential, because the way the scores are going up would suggest that. Yeah, so it's better to do like 6 or 7 or 8 different types of tricks than the same trick repeatedly. Okay, so we've done a horseshoe, so basically I should move off to doing the horseshoe. I'm surprised kicking it at the side like that isn't a trick, but I guess it just impresses me, but it's not a trick. I mean, when I was playing this earlier, I was thinking, Jesus, I think I'd have more luck doing these with a real football than... Come on, there we go. Is that not a trick, really? Oh, a double arch is a trick. You gotta do it more than once. Now, I think I have done the half axle. Oh, the Joker is when you cross your leg and push it. Oh. I think this one might be my last try on this, and we might move on to Alex. Because I don't see myself improving sufficiently. I'm going to have to obviously do some serious study. Oh, I should have moved. See, that one feels like I should have hit it. Oh, I did a full axle. Nice. So this time I actually might get a slightly higher... Yeah. So that time I got 10,000 because I got 4 different stunt types, whereas I got only 6,000 for 3 stunt types. So yeah, if you want to get a big score, it's basically you got to learn how to do multiple in a row. But my limit seems to be around 15-ish thousand, not like the 70,000 that Andy and Dave are putting in. So we'll move on, I suppose, and try a little bit of Alex. It's one of those things where I was saying just to start, normally I'd be thinking, oh yeah, I'll just fly through Alex Kidd. And a couple of things. One, I have to remember to make sure my controller is set up correctly. And 2, oh, have I got the right country on this? That seems fast. No, that's USA. I like to play it on PAL because, of course, that's what I grew up with. So yeah, that seems right. So of course, Alex Kidd, Sega's original mascot, some say. Big-headed monkey boy, others say. But I kind of felt it was fishing to play this, given that the remake is coming out in June. Well, remake / extended port, I guess. Certainly, it's nice to see Sega have been digging back into their back catalogue and actually giving some of their older franchises some proper attention. I mean, the Streets of Rage 4 came out, Panzer Dragoon came out. The Streets of Rage 4 was a great game. Actually did the series really, justice. So, Nintendo have been great for that. They've managed their series so well. But Sega have been really lax. They focus on Sonic and that's about it. They throw out the Genesis collections, as they call them, but they don't really manage their franchises for longevity. And I'm glad that they've actually partnered. Same actually with Wonder Boy stuff has come back, Now this one here, the question blocks aren't random. They're either defined with certain elements. No worries. They're either defined with certain elements, or they have a cycle. So this one's going to be a ghost, and the ghost will chase you off, and you can't kill them. So you have to you basically have to just run off screen. So there we have. What am I doing now? And of course, the money you want to actually buy stuff in the shops, because unlike Mario, Alex Kidd actually had an economy system, which was pretty advanced for a platformer at the time. And again, this actually was a bit unusual in that you started scrolling downwards. Oh, and I literally scroll downwards there. And here's an oddity: you can, for some pointless reason, stand up here on the mountainside. Doesn't do anything, but you can. And you can't do it everywhere, but you can do it there, which is, I guess, nice. And it's one of those things as a child I found, because you just try those things out and see what can you do. Now, I've actually played this a lot as a kid, and unlike, say, Sonic, where I now wouldn't even consider this to be a challenge, Alex Kidd is still a challenging game. Come on. I suppose the fact that it's one-hit deaths, as opposed to Sonic, once you get your rings you have a degree of safety. Get there. Makes it a lot harder. Now, if I was actually playing casually, I probably would have actually gotten more of that money, but when you're actually trying to talk at the same time, it's amazing how much more difficult straightforward challenges become. And you can actually skip over the top of this level if you go really slowly, but it takes forever and the enemies can still hit you, so it's just as well to go through it. And again, for the first level, this has already changed. Now we're scrolling left to right in an underwater setting. So, you know, it really did actually try and do a lot of different things with the kind of platforming genre for 1985. Of course, we'll get to some other changes that are probably less appreciated. In my version, because it was built into the Master System, that was a hamburger he ate, as a, you know, instead of the rice bowl. So here's another one. Changes the economy coming into play. You can actually buy motorcycles and stuff, which is pretty cool. Now I have a ring because I collected it, but I don't have an ability, so I'll store it for later. I got £280 left, which is nice. So yeah, and now you can just drive over everything, except red blocks. They will destroy your motorbike. And because I've been watching A&E shows, now I'm thinking, yeah, there's so many. I remember eating. Oh, well, it's not true about every game. Like the underwater parts almost always suck, which is why I always had such a problem with Echo the Dolphin, because, you know, the whole game was underwater. Oh, missed that. We can go back for it though. In fact, beyond buying stuff in the shops, the other thing that the money's good for is for continuing. And you know what? There's actually a pattern to these. And I remember the first two off by heart, but the later ones not so much, so that could be a problem. This is something that people probably don't appreciate as well, because it's not a normal boss fight. You know, probably just prefer to bonk him on the head a few times and be done. But the pattern is set, so once you play it a few times you can start to learn it. And this one, it is stone, scissors, which is actually the order that you meet the various henchmen. You meet them. You meet stone head, scissors head, paper head. Darn it, I lose. Woo. I always try and skid under the rice thing for whatever reason. So there's a life in here. That one's predefined. Kind of handy too after the boss, if you needed it. And this has one of the kind of small secrets, I guess, in the game. Alex Kidd is not like Mario, where there's a lot of hidden secrets and warp pipes and stuff, but this octopus guy is actually covering a secret entrance. And you might notice he flickers a bit. Once I get into the corner now, I can probably do it a bit faster. Collision detection is pretty good, but it's also doesn't take much to get hit, so that's why I'm taking it careful. Come on, there we go. So now if I go down there, there's a alternative exit to this level that brings you to a different island on the map. And something I noticed when I tried this earlier, just to see did it work. There's two of those bigger fish here. I'm pretty sure on the version built into the Master System there's only one. I could be wrong, but you know, memory could be failing. It happens. You can only have 2 money bags on screen at once, so you should never open more than 2 boxes at the same time. As soon as you do, the third one will disappear. Or the first one, sorry, will disappear. Now this level is also starts to enter the sneaky area where you see the scorpion enemies. They're barely visible because of the grass. It's kind of nice that you're behind the grass. It's a good effect. But at the same stage, you can very easily not see the enemy and walk right into him. There's also another odd, and I guess it's a programming error here, where I don't know where it is exactly, but if you punch, there it is. There. See, I'm generating star blocks just for punching here. Now that's as many as I can make, but that's I don't think that's intended. I can't get up now. Oh, come on. Maybe I should have just done that. There we go. So you can see it even produced a half a star block. That is definitely not right, and you can't actually break that now. So it's just an odd glitch, I guess. And there's another life. So it really is worth coming to this island versus the main island. But actually, by doing that glitch, now I don't think I can. Oh, I can break the half block. I didn't think I could. There we go. So that one is done. And I wonder who put all these rice balls around the place, just hanging in the air. Oh, I thought I was actually at a different level. maybe my mind is playing tricks on me, because I could have sworn that you skipped this level by going to the underwater island thing. Oh, I guess that's what happens when we get old. Ooh, yeah. Oh well. I'm gonna blame any of these mistakes on the fact that I'm not using a Mega Drive controller. Come on, little scorpion dude. Now there's two of them. I actually thought I was going to the next level, which is the helicopter level, basically. And then when I seen this island, I was like, what? And it's kind of strange, like, you can see the helicopter there, it just appeared as your man wants to talk about whatever is going on in his kingdom. You don't actually have to collect it. I always thought, oh, you had to go back and collect it, because you can do that, see, collect it, but you don't. If you just go to the next level, it's fine. And again, they changed up the gameplay, because it's kind of like a platforming shooter. And you can either fly in the top in the helicopter, or if you take a hit, you fall down and you got to do another swimming level. So it's definitely preferable to stay up, and because there's a lot more money up here. Oh, that was a bit closer than I intended. I'm rarely brave enough to go for the full money and the money under there, except for when I was doing some retro achievements for collecting money within Alex Kid. That was actually pretty hard, and I had to make sure I got every money bag in the game. Oh, damn it. Yeah, because that's what happens when I get too greedy. It's kind of like a life lesson, I guess. Ooh, go away. There we go. At least I was near the end. So I can actually buy a helicopter this time, and I will. In fact, I'm going to buy everything. I'm a little low on money because of getting knocked out off the sky level. But this makes this a lot easier. I can just fly over most of the level. And I can collect more money, so it kind of pays for itself. Again, it's another life lesson. Buy a helicopter, it pays for itself. I don't know, was it intentional that those rolling guys kind of have a resemblance in Mario? I kind of suspect it might be. But then they were also in another game, Teddy Boy, so they seem to be just a generic enemy that Sega used back in the day. That question block is also, I think, predefined as being... yeah. Well, the question isn't Should I buy a helicopter? It's which helicopter should I buy? I could have gone around for that other money bag too, but it's a bit risky, so no point chancing it. And now we're on to another, an actual boss, I guess. You know, more traditional boss. A ox that you just punch in the face a lot. Not to be confused with footballer. I do wish you could speed up the text a bit. I mean, there's not too much of it, doesn't take too long, but it's kind of like, yeah. Go save my brother. Come on, I know. I was already going to do that. Now this level is actually kind of challenging, and I will probably end up using a power-up to complete it. So, that just shows you things are getting serious. And to be honest, I'm just going to jump down and kind of move through it as fast as possible. This level has a set of like that's the first in the series of those question mark blocks. So it will indeed. The next one will be a ghost. Now you might have noticed there's a orb down there. That's a telepathy bowl. It helps you with these the Janken games, or rock paper scissors as we know them over here. And when I was a kid, I was like, why would you go down there? Because you can't get back out. But it turns out if you just walk to the edge, it opens up an exit. Oh, you probably haven't seen me getting too many. I didn't comment on those little skull blocks. They kind of give you the shivers or something. It's a very odd effect. And now, the first time, I'm actually going to use the pole screen. So, I've equipped this bracelet of power, or whatever they call it. But this, just that fire is quite dangerous, and I always end up killing myself trying to avoid it. So I just, whoa! Even using the bracelet, I nearly killed myself. Now that question mark is the ghost, so I do have to be careful. So I want to scroll him off, but and that's a terrible sounding phrase. I want to scroll him off. Oh no, I've gone too far. I didn't mean to do that, because now the ghost will be in this one, which would have ordinarily been a life. So I can't go for it. That's unfortunate, because you need all the lives you can get in this game. Oh, crap. Forgot about that one. Yeah, I've really lost my sequence, and this is show you where when you get a sequence in the game and you kind of lose your rhythm, it can really throw you off, because that one, there's 4, you know, you can actually follow these enemies right to the end of the game where the boss kicks in. There's 4 of those question blocks, so if you get all 4 of them, you actually end the level with another ring, so you replace the ring that you used, which I didn't, so now I don't have a ring, and I lost a life. Yeah, it's tricky. And now I'm also trying to remember what the sequence is on this. It is... it's basically himself, scissors, and then paper. So it seems to be going sequentially through the henchmen's kind of heads, I guess. Now what I'm actually doing is I'm going to look up the sequence for the rest of them, because I don't have that in my head. Janken matches. Now I can actually do it with the telepathy bowl, but why take the risk? In fact, on the Wii Sega Ages release, the border of the game has the sequence, which I think is quite handy. Okay, so next one is rock scissors. That's good. Now I don't want the motorbike in this one because it'll totally kill me. I'll get this for later. And I think I have an A capsule. Do I have an A capsule? Let me check. I do. So I don't need to buy that. Ooh, this level is also pretty hard. Like you can see, it really has started to ramp up in difficulty. Get up. Those monkeys are quite annoying because they pretty much can't be killed given their positioning, and you just have to avoid their nuts, I guess. They're throwing their nuts at you. Plenty of euphemisms there, no doubt. And I'm trying to remember what pattern I used for this. That might be wrong. Oh, that's... I think it is wrong. I think I meant to actually... Yeah, I'm going to have to change my pattern now. That's not good. Oh, Kevin! This is my first game. It was my first game too, kind of. Well, joint first game with damn it. This is a big problem now. Okay, I got through it. Oof. I don't normally have 2 lives gone. Sorry, I was actually saying this is my first game, but it was in 1991. It was Sonic 1. I don't normally have 2 lives gone by this point. The one thing that does kind of belie its age is the repetition in soundtrack. I'm actually not sure what's in that question mark block. I don't hang around. It's probably a rotation one because there's another block there. I really don't hang around on this level at all. But here we go again. Oh! Let's try the invincibility. Normally I would have a ring for him because I would have gotten it back from the end of that other level, but that's going to throw me off. You can see my palette's also messed up. So we're on to another vehicle level. This one's the boat. They don't call them boat helicopter. They call them like the pettycopter, the... I don't know. They all have their own little names. The collision detection is actually a bit funny on the money bags in this level, I find. Oh well. Oh, that was just unfair! Ay, ay, ay. 3 lives down. This is going pretty rough. What are we on in terms of lives? We've got 5 lives, we're not too bad, but normally I'd be doing better than that. So we do want the helicopter. We want to buy another helicopter, you know, keep the Celtic Tiger going. And we can replace that invincibility at least. You know, without the items, actually, this game is a lot harder, so it is just as well you can buy them. See? I mean, this level would be pretty hard. Funny thing is, Tony, that's never happened. Honestly, I just do not recall ever getting knocked down and then dying in the same action with no ability to recover. Because normally you have the invincibility. So, yeah, it's always when you're doing something in front of people that you get those one-offs. You can actually fly over some of these clouds, which is handy. But what I always have to tell myself is don't get too cocky with this, because you do... you can't fly over all of them, and you are quite easily hit, so... Yeah, the level gets a lot harder when that happens. Now there's a ring here, which I got so fast I didn't even play the music. Okay. Ooh, that was close. Oh, I can fly over that one. So this one we're on to Paperhead, the third henchman. And thankfully now I've looked up what he is. So it's rock, scissors on his, which actually I kind of remembered because it's basically the first two henchmen repeating. And while he's chatting away, I'm going to have another slurp out of my cauldron. What was it? Sorry. Yeah, rock, scissors. You actually do you repeat the boss fights later on, but this time once you beat them on the Jenkin matches, you end up actually fighting them too. So they do turn into a more traditional boss battle too. And I didn't mention it, but after I got that orb in the volcano, you can see that I can actually see what he's thinking, which is how you're kind of meant to do it if you don't know the pattern. Woo. So this is the first castle stage. There's only 2 castles. Well, there's 3, I guess, if you include the King's Castle, but it's not really a level. And this one is kind of a bit of a maze. There's a whole load of kind of pointless. I always wondered, was that intentional? That TA, did it mean something, or was it just layout? It just happened to be the shapes of letters. It is actually possible to get that money using a ring, but it's very hard because you have to break the blocks and then still jump between them. And again, not worth it. There's a lot of money in this game that's just more likely to lead you to get killed than anything else. There's a life here, so let's go for that. Quite a risky, but if you push, you'll always land safely there. And I always think I'm not going to though. So I know this layout pretty well. And the thing, you have to rescue your brother in this level. If you don't rescue the little sod, you don't get the kind of the hidden letter you need. Well, unfortunately, I think in most cases, like, see the money bag up here, you talk about get rich or die trying. That money bag is, oh look, just sitting there. Yeah, there's a trap. The platform will open up and drop you onto the fire. That's what life's all about. There we go. Oh, nope. All to save the brother here. Now I think there's a ghost in that question mark, which is odd. I suppose it must be preset one. I don't think there's any more that you can use to kind of to get another life. I think if you hit this one and then this one, yeah, there he goes, he's released. And you can actually kind of start to run off while he's jabbering away, but unfortunately you have to listen to him. Playing it a bit safe there before jumping down. Oop, that wasn't very safe. So yeah, what that guy, what my brother was saying there was, there's a letter hidden in here, or he's hidden a letter, which is strange because it wasn't available to you. Like if you, the letter's up there, you could have fallen down from earlier on in this level to this room, but that letter would not be there. So it's kind of odd that he somehow, as soon as I release him, goes and hides the letter there instead of giving it to me. That seems terribly inconvenient. Just going to let the fire go by. Is it going to make a jump to the end? Now, you might notice there's an exit to the left. You can actually slide under and just kind of crawl along. And if you do, there's actually another telepathy ball, but as I already have it, I don't need it. And this one you gotta rush because you get crushed. Come on. This can be tricky, but it is just a pattern. So just wait for the fires to get out of your way and then just follow them. And don't walk into them, I've done that before in a rush. So we're back at the bosses are now repeating, but this time they will start attacking. So this is paper is apparently the solution. And it's like he has to tell me every time how to play rock, paper, scissors. It's also when you know the pattern, this one is also like catches you out because you could just sit here going, yeah, it's paper, I'm done. I don't even have to press anything now, and then he just attacks you. If you're just smashing the buttons to him, like keep going. And it's a little kind of creepy that he can just take off his head like that. There we go. Not too hard, 3 hits. Very, typical kind of platformer game where it always seems to be 3 hits to kill stuff. 3 or 8. And I don't think there's much I want to buy in here. Well, I want to buy the life, but... yeah. Well, if you lost a Janken twice, your head would come off too. So yeah, that's all I needed. Oh, I kind of messed that up. And you notice how big Alex is in comparison to the kind of houses. Now I guess this is a fattered head thing, small, far away. Because surely he's bigger than the doors. And what's this one? It's rock. Okay. And which makes sense because rock actually beats scissors, so that probably is the pattern there. In fact, that's exactly what it is because the last one was paper, and paper beats rock, so rock beats scissors. Surprisingly, the next one is not then the same. It's rock, scissors. That's the first 2 henchmen. That's the way. Oh, see, I actually, even though I had only said it, I actually completely forgot that his head came off and he was going to attack me. And this time he fires stuff at you too, so it's a bit more dangerous. Ooh, kind of cut that a little close. I kind of always feel that Scissors' head looks a little diseased. So we're on to a helicopter level that's a bit different. Like, if you lose your helicopter, you're pretty much done. Like, you don't fall into water. Like, it doesn't necessarily straight up kill you either. Ooh, that was cutting that a little fine. But clearly, like I've gotten, say, knocked off the helicopter here, and you land on a platform, but it's pretty much. I mean, I think it is possible, but genie, no, that's not possible. You can't actually do this section. So, like, it's just an odd one. They may as well just kill you. And by not killing those enemies, I think it was making my life a lot harder there. Thankfully, this is a very short level. In fact, I think once I get out of this section, I'm done. Yep, there's the end. A few of the levels are oddly short, actually. So we're on to the second castle, if you will, but this is not really a castle. And this is what the Lesher was for in the first castle. This is the king, or the king stand-in, or I don't know what he's doing. You know, I never really thought that about it, but the scrolling direction does change quite a bit. I mean, compared to Mario or Wonder Boy or anything like that, you know, it was all left to right, that type of thing. But you do kind of change up, down, left, right, like quite a bit. I suppose it keeps it fresh. I don't know what I want to buy. I guess I'll buy the motorbike. I actually don't have enough money for continue if I needed one. Yeah, the motorbike can still fall into... Ah, no. Okay. It's a pity I missed that life. The Master System had definitely got a way more vibrant palette than the NES. Like, some NES games look really nice and they've made good use of the limited colour scheme. But in comparison, Master System games just look so colourful. Like, by default, you don't really get this with your standard kind of NES game. You do with maybe the Mario 3 or the later stuff or some of the stuff, but they also had the advantage of using add-on chips, which most Master System games, most Sega games did not use add-on chips except for really Virtua Racing on the Mega Drive. So what's his pattern? Rock, scissors. So we're grand with rock. And scissors. You think I would notice more of these pattern? I know the first ones, but not the later ones, even though I have actually completed the game several times. Now he's going to lose his head too. And this one is interesting. I'm pretty sure if I stay right into the corner, he can't get me. Yep. So I can just stand here and wail on him. It's kind of an odd one. He clearly didn't think that strategy through. So we're on to the final castle. And we've got 7 lives. Hopefully that's enough. This is a challenging level. It's definitely the hardest level in the game. And to be honest, it's the level I probably know the least. Ugh. I don't know if there are any secrets that I need to get. I'm trying to remember now. It's been quite a while. Oops. Oh well. Sure, I need to go back down here. There's one area in particular. I remember when I got this far the first time I was a kid, like I was like, oh my god, I'm at the final level. Do I need to go down here? I don't think I do. But you get to this kind of spiked water level and it's like just insane. I'm gonna skip most of this because I don't think I need to break through it. Although I may as well get the money, I guess. Like I said, there is a cheat code where if you get game over and you've got 2,000 I think left in money, you can continue. Or maybe it's not 2,000. I generally don't use the continue code, so I don't remember it. In fact, I didn't know it in the first place either. It was only later on I found out that there was such a thing. I was like, oh, that would have made things a bit easier when I was a kid struggling to clear it for the first time. So the first part of this isn't too bad. It's really a little later on where it gets harder. And you do have to watch out for all these spikes, to be fair. They are like insta-death. Of course, there's the two question marks, but it's not worth getting them at this point in the game because I have all the items I need. And there probably would be a life that you could get by cycling, but you'd be more likely to just lose a life, frankly. We're also into the more sinister music than the happy Alex Kidd music. Yeah, so there's 2 boxes there. Again, like, why? Why would you... Oh, I nearly went over. Who would decide I'm going to try and break those? This is kind of tricky because Alex is a tiny bit slippery and you've got to avoid the collision on those vines as they come up. And I'm not too sure that the money bags out there, is it actually possible to get those? Unless you go back through the level, I guess. Oh jeez, I can't get up here. I'm trying to do this a relatively safe way. Yeah, there we go. Oh! Dang it. Okay, now let's not mess this up. There we go. So when I jump through, you'll see, boom, the thing opens up. So I guess I probably could go back, but again, what's the point? And the same with that money over there. Well, unless you're doing a kind of a high money challenge, that's just so dangerous. You have to be very careful here because this is going to open up. So if you just jumped in, I am actually sort of tempted to open up that question block, but nah, let's not. Probably get myself killed. Oh, no, wait. I wasn't prepared for that. You have to punch this twice and then run. And there's not that much time in it, so you kind of really do need to go once it starts. Get up, get up. In fact, I mentioned earlier on those roller ball things that look like Mario, and I think I'd seen them in Teddy Boy. I think these frogs were used in My Hero. So Sega clearly were reusing their sprites back then. There we go. Now I'm technically blocked in here, but the puzzle is punch this. Why? I don't know, but that's what you gotta do. You can actually fly up to the next level, area of the level. You can fly up to that ladder. I'm hoping that... Oh, that was lucky. I nearly landed on these. To be honest, maybe I should have, because I hate this section. This is so hard. Alex is a bit funky underwater at the best of times. As Tony mentioned, yeah, the underwater level's not fun. And they're not too bad. They're certainly... I've played worse. This is the room I was telling you about. When I seen this room, I was like, what? How are you meant to get through there? He doesn't control that well underwater. There's actually a bit of a trick to it. Alex will not hit it if you just use left or right. But if you try and use up or down, you'll bounce into them. So it's actually really easy, but it looks so hard. The first time, of course, you're naturally going to be pressing up and down. In fact, this is probably harder, because now I have to jump over these guys. Ah! So yeah, that was harder. You either jump over them or land on the second one and jump down. Now, get off! Oof, phew. I got stuck on the ladder and I probably would have killed myself. I wanted to use invincibility to run past them. So that is later on the level that we're looking at again. You kind of loop around a few times. And this is another slightly tricky area. There's another hidden floor here, but it's, again, I think it just brings you to money or something, so it's a bit pointless. Come on. I think if you press that, the pink block, it opens it up. See? There we go. Yeah, no. I am going to use invincibility on that. It is totally possible, and I've done it before, but that jump there is very challenging. Oh, I think I've gone down the wrong one. No, you're too early there, Alex. Oh no! My invincibility just ran out. That was unfortunate. There we go. I was just trying to go too fast. We're at Jankin, and again, he's going to be rock, paper, scissors. His pattern is paper, paper, so it's actually quite simple. But again, he will attack you once it ends. But there's, I'm going to say, a simple way of finishing him off, but we'll see. I tended to find the last level beyond this, because this is, like, he's the last boss, if you will. So we're nearly done. But the last level, you have to kind of jump in a certain pattern, and that's what you got from the king. I kind of just glossed over that. If I didn't have the letter from my brother, the king wouldn't have given me the slate with the inscription that gives me the answer to the kind of final riddle. Instead, he would have sent a ghost at you and saying you were an interloper or something. So what I need to do is get up close and personal. And there we go, that's him. So quite straightforward after all that. I mean, his level was far harder. And you walk away only to then get the seal that you need. It's so strange. And there we go. We have rescued whoever this person is. Well, she's not my mother, because apparently she's somewhere else. But it's like, okay, bye. It's very odd, I think. And you see I'm at a lake. And there's money up here. And it's like, money? Why are we still collecting money? What are we doing? There's no more shops. Again, I suppose it goes down to if you're going to end up continuing. But we, of course, have another bloody swimming level. And you have to kill one of those guys to get down there, and they're tricky enough. So you need 2 medallions, which we've collected, and you go into the final chamber. And this is a pattern, and I can never remember this. So this is the slate we got from the king, and it's... Oh... Would you read it? What way did you read this? Now I can't remember. Do you read this like left row? You know, row, row, row. So would you go kind of fish, star, fish, crown? Or that'd be column actually. Sorry. Or would you go fish, sun, sun? I think it's fish, star, fish, crown. And you can't touch anything else. That was close. I can't even remember what I said. Fish, star, fish, crown. Why can't I move? My palette has changed. Okay, well that was wrong. So I'm dead. So I did fish first, though, didn't I? And there's nothing you can do. Because... They're instant kills. Now, what the hell is this? Surely it should be fish as the very first one. Unless I'm reading that wrong. I'm gonna have to look this up. Man, see, this is harder than... Oh, you got it? Well, I don't got it. Reading from top to bottom, right to left, the symbol reads... This sounds like... Yeah, exactly. I hate this part too. You've beaten the final boss, and now it's like, which one are you jumping on? Sun, wave, moon, star. Okay, sun. I'm gonna go sun. Yeah! Wave. Moon. So, Tony certainly got it. Okay, that was the first 4. Sun. Oh, yeah, sun, wave, moon, star. Now, is it going to be sun, moon, wave? Sun, moon, wave. That's so strange. Sun, moon, wave. Fish, star, fish, crown. Oh, I suppose you want the crown at the end, yeah. No, I've forgotten what it was. I've got terrible memory. Starfish. And there's the crown, yeah. So after all that, like, and then you still have spikes. It's like, seriously? And those spikes look like they're from Sonic. And there we go, finally. So I actually did manage to get through it in the end after a few kind of muck-ups earlier on. Put it this way, I think it went better than Footbag. And with that, as Alex's adventure comes to a close, I suppose we should probably bring the stream to a close. I hope you enjoyed. It was just really a chance to kind of shoot the breeze, play an old game and talk about some memories. But yeah, we'll see you again with another stream shortly. Bye for now. Now I gotta remember how to turn this off. Actually, that'd be